Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to talk about tips on finding your major and motivation to keep going. I feel like it's kind of hard, especially since like your freshman year or even like in high school. Like I remember like you have to know what you're going to do in college because you only have 4 years to do it and this and that. And it was in some way it was true, in some way it wasn't, just because in college it's not like a race to see who finishes in 4 years. No, it's to see like to find what you're passionate about and like to be able to like do something that you love for the rest of your life, because you don't want to do something that someone pressured you to doing, like let's say your parents, and then you're unhappy for the rest of your life. So my first tip is it's okay to change your major. Firsthand, I was a biochemistry major because I thought I was going to make my parents proud just to become a doctor. And I realized that wasn't for me just because I hated chemistry and I just didn't like it. And I just didn't see myself as a doctor. So I started like talking to people, especially my psych professors, and being like, hey, like what how did you think like how did you choose to do your major, like, or I was talking to other people like how did you choose, like what motivated you, like I asked them so many questions, because it's okay to change your major. And I feel like we have to implement this more. It's like, because in my high school it was like more like you have to know what you want to do and this and that, and like, I was like, okay, like I have an idea, but like they're like, no, you have to know, like you can't waste your time. And like, no, like that's not okay. Like we have to change that norm and be like, it's okay to change your major. I know some people that change their major like 4 times and now they're like so happy and they don't care that they had like longer semesters because they had to like do other classes. The loan is like, don't be afraid to ask your professors how they chose their career paths. So basically, what I did, I started asking everybody I know. Like I asked my bosses, and they told me like, oh, I have a friend that does this, and like so then I started getting more and more connected, and that's how I met one of my mentors today. Like she has helped me so much, to realize what I really want to do. And like we spent sessions on like, okay, like what do you like to do? And I'm like, okay, well I want to work with children in a hospital setting, but I don't want to be a nurse and I don't want to do this. Like she's like, okay. And then I started to fall more in love with psychology, and psychology was supposed to be my minor and it became my major because I just loved how the brain works and how we are, well, who we are because of our brain and our past experience and how everything affects everything in life. And yeah, so that's how I chose my path, because I fell in love with something that was something I had a small interest and it became my main interest. And my last advice is try to shadow someone already doing what you want to do. I know with COVID it's kind of hard, but COVID isn't going to last forever. So I feel like getting to the mindset of like reaching out to people. Like I just reached out to a clinic of cuz I want to be a practical occupational therapist, and I asked like, "Okay, how did you do what you like what steps did you take to be where you're at?" And they're like, "Okay, like make sure you're doing the prereqs for master school, make sure you're doing this, and then try to get some shadowing." Then they're like, because of COVID we're not accepting shadowing, but once COVID starts going down a bit we might start allowing shadowing. So I keep emailing back and forth to make sure they keep me in mind for shadowing, because I want to make sure that's the career path I want, because I know I want to do something in peds, but I don't know exactly what. So being able to see, okay, if occupational therapist for me, maybe I can start like shadowing more and more and maybe getting us like a job there as a maybe receptionist, just to get more contact with patients and stuff like that. So I feel like it's very important for you to realize like, hey, it's okay to change your major. It's okay to take longer in college. It's okay to like ask your professors to see like what they did in order to be what they are, because maybe like you have a good connection with your let's say your anatomy professor, but like you don't want to be like a bio major, so you can still ask them like, hey, like what made you be interested in like teaching, or what made you be interested in teaching anatomy, or like and stuff like that. And like even if like maybe you're not interested in that, they're gonna know people that maybe, like let's say you want to be architecture, like they'll know people in the architecture field and like they'll lead you to someone they know, and like maybe they become your mentor. I just feel like the main tip is like try to like just put yourself out there, even if it's with people that you think they might not help you, but like they will at the end of the day. Maybe they might not know the reason or anything, but they'll teach, like they'll guide you to someone that they might know that will help you. And yeah, those are my tips. If you have any more questions, please feel free to DM us. And yeah.